Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's Pick-a-Reads. This video should be on James 13 Wicca on YouTube, just to make sure that that's there. I'll put the cards and dice that I use below if you're looking to see what I'm using. Most of my videos in the last couple months should have that. What else? I am currently doing in-person readings in Herkimer, New York. If you're near there and you're interested, shoot me an email, I'll give you details. Otherwise, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. All right, let's go ahead and get into your reading. Hello, Virgo. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Virgo? Very kind of like relaxed energy going into this, I'm noticing. Wow. All right, let's get through everything first before we get too excited. That's wow. Okay. We like good stuff. We like good stuff, right? We like good stuff. Yeah. Very interesting. One more. That's it. Like, sometimes I have to say right in the beginning, I'm not a Sunshine Rainbows reader, but this looks pretty good. So, like, and what I mean by Sunshine Rainbows, in case it needs explaining, is like, to get a rainbow, the sun has to refract off the rain to make a rainbow, right? So, like, Sunshine Rainbows is saying without clouds in the sky, how do you get a rainbow? So it's like unrealistic is what I'm trying to say. But this is like looking really good. I feel like you've been holding on to something and this has been serving you. That's the thing. Sometimes people complain about holding on to things or being stubborn with things. If it's working to your benefit, it's not a negative thing. I mean, not for nothing. Having the staying power and sticking with what you actually want and not letting go of something you don't want to let go of, and it's serving you in the long run. That's the trick. As long as it serves you in the long run, it's all good, right? I think so. And whatever it is, you've been holding on to something. But whatever this is, it's a good thing. I'm getting it's a good thing. I feel like I haven't been able to get myself to let go of it. Maybe you've even tried, but it's kind of like, all right, I'm not going to think about that anymore. Oh, no, that's not going to happen. But for some reason, it just lingers. For some reason, it just doesn't disappear. For some reason, it's like, oh, I want that to happen this way, or I want this to go that way. And you've been very careful about how you communicate about it, if at all. You may have kept this very personal and to yourself. When it comes to secrets, I don't think of Virgo as somebody who's typically a secret holder, but at the same time, I do think of Virgo as somebody, like, if they don't want to talk about it, then they're not talking about it, and that's how it is. There's a lot to somebody's chart, I know that, but normally just Virgo on its own, they don't want to talk about it, then they just don't. They just don't. I just feel like Virgo has that control usually. There's a lot of aspects to, like, a chart, you know what I mean? So not all Virgos are the same, just to be fair. But whatever this is, you might have been keeping it to yourself for whatever reason. And why is this going your direction is a good question. We got to get a little bit farther. But whatever this is, it means a lot to you. You got that Ace of Cups right there, which is telling me this isn't a little thing. Hopefully I can get close enough to the actual if you want to see it. This isn't a little thing to you. This is actually quite important. I'm trying to get more from it. I know this is a general read, but I feel like we can have a little bit more with it, can't we? Something is getting out of your way. The truth, I think more truth is coming your way. Over time, I feel like something has been like feeding me little bits of information, or you could literally be seeing it, you could be looking it up, you could be overhearing something, somebody could flat out be telling you things. But little pieces of information just keep going into this. It's like, you know when they say a drop in the bucket? After so many drops, you start filling up the pail, you know what I'm saying? It feels like that, just a little drop here, a little drop there. And over time, I feel like something has been building here. And it feels very positive to me. And I feel like you're going into this new era of like, you know, if I make certain choices and move in certain ways, this thing that I can't seem to let go of, maybe I could do that. And like, we'll make it really simple. Maybe it was a certain pet you wanted to have, or it was a certain home you wanted to have, or a certain job, or a certain location you wanted to live in. And then for some reason, maybe in the past, you're like, no, that's not going to happen. Or you're like, oh, that's nice, but I don't think that's going to be for me. But you couldn't let go of it. And now you're like, oh, there's an opportunity here. We'll make it really simple. So say it's a house. You're in your own house. You got your house. Your house is what it is. You probably like it. I feel like Virgos do good with that, typically, stereotypically. And you're like, that house, I've always wanted that house. But I always told myself, well, you know, I got this house. And, oh, that would be too expensive and all this other. You had reasons. But it's like, oh, wait, there's an opportunity. I could have that house and afford to enjoy it. And if I do take that house, then I would have to let go of this house one way or another. Maybe rent it out, maybe give it to, maybe do this with it, maybe do that with it. But I can do this. Do I want to start that process? And it's kind of like this is kind of like the weather passing through. It's kind of like I'm starting to realize I've wanted that for the longest time. The opportunity isn't going to just sit here and wait for me forever. It's kind of like, you know, milk in the fridge. I like that analogy. I've got it in the fridge. It'll last a few days at the very least. Hopefully a week. I don't know. Depends how long milk lasts in your house. But there's an expiration date either way. If it's not used, it will expire. So it's kind of like, I feel like you're addressing that. Like, maybe I can think about it for a short period of time, a very short period of time, and then it's going to go away. But I could have that. I could have that milk. I could do this. I could make something with that. Ace of Cups is here too. It's like, it's not a little thing. Whatever it is, I get that you really do want it. So, all right. So your first initial reaction I'm getting is the lack of movement, which is okay. Because I don't feel like you have to like run and jump on this. I don't feel like it's one of those things. But luck is on your side. This cat makes me laugh because it kind of looks like my cat, but mine's an orange tabby. But he's fluffy like this. He is fluffy like this. Luck is on your side, but it's kind of like luck is fickle. I feel like that's one of the reasons. Like, obviously, there's the black cat connection with luck, but luck is on your side. You know what you want. You're just waiting. Luck is on your side. You're going to get another push forward. You don't have to do anything. I feel like that's quite obvious. You don't have to do anything. Question is, do you want to? Do you want to? The moment is coming. Somebody seems to be going to your favor. Things are just lining up for you in a good way. Something else is going to go towards this situation that's going to make it even more enticing. Because I feel like my knee-jerk reaction is like, oh, I don't know, I got to think about it. I'm a little nervous about it. I got to think about it. You're going to get one more jump. You're going to get one more chance. The Two of Cups shows up. Your moment will arrive. And I feel like it's going to be painfully obvious. Like, it's either do or don't. It's either do or don't. Now, there's a very interesting thing here that's going to happen at this moment. I feel like I'm going to have this, like, oh, maybe if I go back and crunch the numbers, I'll think about it. This actually will, it might pass you by if you do that, which is, I feel hard to say, because that's Virgo's thing to like, ooh, is this really the smart thing for me to do? The thing is, you already know. You already have that answer. You've thought about it a lot. This isn't a new situation to you. But if you step back and you're like, oh, maybe I should give it some more thought. Maybe I should like look into it a little deeper. If you go that direction, it'll probably pass you by. The milk will expire. But if you trust the universe a little bit here and just start moving forward slowly but surely, like you don't have to like overly commit to anything. But if you start moving forward with the process and you're like, actually, you know what? I do think I want that. How do we get that started? And it's like if it was a house, for example. You know what? Before I actually commit to such a purchase, I would like to have a contractor or two come through and just look at the roof, look at the basement. I would like to have a grounds person come look at the grounds. I want to like check with I want a couple people to come in and look over the place before I commit to a price or moving forward. Those are baby steps forward, but it's actual showing seriousness. And I feel like it's kind of like, this is a legitimate thing to do. Like, for example, maybe you need to contact somebody because you want them to look at the roof to make sure the roof makes sense, it's going to last. Maybe you want somebody to check the electrical, the heating system, whatever you got going on. It's an analogy, you know. That will give you time to like breathe, and then if you hit this moment where you're like, you know what, I don't really want to do this, you'll be able to find a reason to back out. If you decide, you know what, I really don't want to, that'll give you that staying time, but you got to keep moving. Kind of like, all right, I got this person to look at the roof. I paid. You're probably gonna have to pay somebody to do that, which I would think. Once you get and you have things checked, it's kind of like, all right, that's going to be your moment. Either yes, we're going to do it, or no, we're not. The energy here with the spirit guide is like, if you just start moving forward, you'll be able to reinforce your confidence that this is a good idea. This is what you want. This is where you want to be, and things are looking good. For example, even if, say, the roof is checked out of this house and you're like, oh, that needs to be fixed. There's no damage to the structure so far, but that's going to have to be fixed in a year and a half tops. You'll find that and you'll be like, well, since I'm going to have to do that and I've already priced it with this person, if you're willing to take X amount off the price of this house because I'm going to have to spend that immediately, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, what does a roof cost now? Like $12,000? I don't know what it costs now. Depending on the house, I guess. It does depend on the house. So it's kind of like, if you take, you know, you probably buff it a little bit. If you take $15,000 off the house for unexpected expenditures, you know, and this person quoted it for 12, but it could be more, you know what I mean? So you take $15,000 off the price of the house, we can keep going, and it'll just keep moving. The situation will keep going. It's just baby steps moving forward, but it will get you where you want to go. This can definitely happen for you. Whatever this is, this can definitely happen for you. You got 2 Major Arcana cards coming in. The Justice card is saying this can be worked out to your benefit. This is like legal things going your way. This is negotiations, diplomacy, fairness, stuff like that. The Hierophant, that is perfect for Virgo. It's an Earth card. It sometimes talks about Taurus. You don't have to be dealing with a Taurus, although the Justice card talks about Libra sometimes. You don't have to be dealing with either one of those signs, but these are like, these two together are very good for you. Stability, long-term connections with this one. When this card gets involved, a lot of times I like to say, like, people talk about this word, give up. I've heard of the concept, but that's not something I do. That's this card. That's this card, just to be fair. And this other card is like being fair, working things out, negotiating. You might want to bring somebody else in to help you with this part, just to lighten the load. It's not like you can't do it by yourself, but you might want to add somebody in for that sounding board. It'll up your confidence, it'll help you feel more comfortable, and it'll make it less of a stress for you. You can add somebody into this part, and I feel like that will serve you as well, because I'm getting the lighten the load is like, give yourself a chance. If there's something here that, like, say it's like, okay, I know this lawyer, but it's going to cost me X amount of dollars, but it's going to really help your mental health, you might want to go that direction, because long term, that will serve you. Your mental stability will be a wonderful thing to have. I'm just saying, it might be something like that. Could be somebody you know. Add this energy in, you can lighten your load. Don't be afraid to lighten your load, because I feel like you're going to double check things anyway. Probably triple check, maybe quadruple check. Anything else? I like this. I feel like this is really good. Again, I'm not a Sunshine Rainbows reader, but I feel like I like this. Although I do feel like I had a realistic plan to move forward if this is actually hitting for you. So maybe that makes a huge difference. Anything else? I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email. jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.